welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming at you guys with a, what is it, like first review mini tutorial demo of a new product that just launched last week. I was fortunate to get my hands on it the day that it actually launched, and I'm super excited. You guys probably know what it is already from the title of my video, but it is on this bad boy right here. This is the new Kylie Kyshadows palette. This is the Burgundy palette. It is absolutely stunning, you guys. I am wearing it on my eyes. This is what the video is going to be about. It's going to be a swatch. It's going to be a review. You're going to see the colors in action, how they blend, how they just look so beautiful on the eyes. I've already done the review on her first Kyshadow palette, which was the bronze palette, which is this guy right here. Absolutely beautiful. Loved it, still love it. One of my favorite palettes. Definitely have this on my vanity right in front because I tend to reach for this a lot. And so I was excited when she released sneak peeks of this palette because I automatically was like, oh my god, that is the perfect burgundy palette. It is so great for fall. It is just, I gotta have it. So when she did the sneak peeks, thank goodness the release was only a short couple days after. She didn't make us wait months like some people do. It comes in her traditional packaging. It just comes like this. This is exactly what the bronze palette looked like, except it is obviously burgundy because the palette is the burgundy palette. And then you open this bad boy and it's the exact same packaging as the bronze palette, as the traditional eyes with the drops. And the drops do correspond to the colors that are inside, which is really cool. And then it just has her famous Kylie XOXO signature, and then it does have on the back the name of the colors on this like foil looking kind of sticker, which is, I think, is really, really nice. And then the ingredients are listed as well. So then you open this bad boy and then you get the Kylie signature, and then you get all the colors. And there are 9 beautiful colors, and this definitely is more of a burgundy palette just because the colors are obviously more burgundy toned, more mauve toned. There are some gold shimmers in here, but for the most part it is definitely different than her first palette. I want to go ahead and compare them really quickly just so people who are like, okay, does that look like her first palette? Let's quickly compare. So these are the two palettes. This is her bronze palette, this is her burgundy palette. As you can see, they don't really look similar, at least to my eye. They don't, even looking on camera, they don't at all. This one is very, very warm, and this one is very burgundy, neutral colors. She did a great job at really differentiating. Is that even a word? Differentiating? Differentiating. I feel like I'm saying that really weird. She did a really good job though at making sure that they really do not look alike and that they really are separate palettes. These ones definitely have, I would say, more a transition colors. It definitely has a traditional transition color with a black, which I think is essential in every palette. There should at least be one transition color and a black, just to, you know, give it, you know, obviously a very neutral to smoked out look, versus the burgundy where it doesn't really have any transition colors, and it doesn't really have a very dark color. The only dark color is this color right here, and it's called Almond. This is the darkest shade. It's actually not that dark if you look at it in person. I don't know if you can really tell on the actual camera as well, but it's just a very nice cool tone brown is exactly how I would put it. But yeah, so this is what they look like. Definitely different for sure. One thing I noticed, and you'll know when you continue watching the video when I do the tutorial, this is a lot more pigmented. I don't know if she changed the formula. I mean, you could probably tell on the ingredients on the back. Maybe that would tell you. Obviously they're not the same ingredients. They start off with different ingredients, so that makes sense then. This is definitely a lot more pigmented, I will tell you that. Definitely blendable, which is great because I feel like if it's going to be pigmented, it better be super blendable as well. But I love this palette, you guys. I honestly think I love it a little bit more than the bronze palette just because it's a lot more pigmented, and I don't know, I just really, really like this palette. I love the colors in it. The one thing that I do not like though is that it does not have a base color. Now for most people that might not be a big deal. They're probably like, whatever, I can just go ahead and get another base color. It's really not that big of a deal to me either because I have the first palette, which does have a transition color. I'm sorry, I keep saying transition, base color. This is the color that I use to put on my base to go ahead and kind of just set the concealer that I put all over my eyelids so I can go in and blend all the other eyeshadows easily. That is what I really do like about this palette. It's just a great matte cream vanilla color. It's just a really good base color. She does not have anything like that in here. So that's one thing that I kind of was bummed about that, but it's obviously not going to affect the way I feel about the palette. I really do like this palette. I think it's a great palette. I do want to say her shimmers aren't that extreme. They're not that pigmented. I actually was watching Jeffree Star video and he had mentioned that she purposely did that she wasn't really looking for an extreme kind of bold pigment for the shimmers. She kind of just wants something subtle that kind of just give you a nice little sheen to your eye. I still think they're great shimmers. I don't mind it, I guess is what I'm just trying to say. So if you are someone who is hoping to get this and you want the shimmer pigments to just be wow, like out there, poppin', bold, to where you just put your brush in, you can slap it on your eyeball and it's like extreme, you're not going to get that with these guys. Don't waste your money, don't get this palette because you're going to be very disappointed. But other than that, it's a great eyeshadow palette. If you are just an eyeshadow hoarder like me, you love different eyeshadow palettes, you like Kylie Jenner, you're a huge fan, you just want to collect all her makeup products, definitely then get it because I do think it is worth it. Honestly, I'm really happy that I got this palette. I really, really do like it. I think using these two together, which I did do today. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you the swatches of these so that you can kind of see for yourself how they look. So I just want to show as I'm doing it, so you know there's not any sceptillation or anything like that. I'm going to just show firsthand. This is the first color, which is the color Naked, and then we have the middle color Beach, and then we have the last color Penny. And that is what I'm talking about as far as the intensity. It's not super intense, but you still can see that there is a shimmer there. And so that is the first top row, and I'm going to go into the second row. So this is the first color LA, and then you got Burgundy, and then you got Dubai. Dubai is actually such a beautiful bronze gold color. I think that is probably the most pigmented shimmer eyeshadow in the palette. I really do that has the most pigment and the most color payoff, the most intensity. Spray some Fix Plus, some MAC Fix Plus, and probably get you do get a more intense pigment, because that is exactly what I did, because I felt like I wanted it just a little bit more intensity. Last row we have Brick, which is my favorite color of this whole palette. New York, which is this nice like bronze, and then Almond, which is also another one of my favorite colors. The swatches did not do it justice. I feel like the swatches did not swatch at all great. I feel like they did look a little bit more chalky, they did look a little bit more blotchy, but I promise you when you dip a brush into these palettes, you definitely get good color payoff and you definitely get the blendability. Like I said, the second palette is much more pigmented in my opinion. This does retail for $45 after shipping and taxes. I paid, I believe, what was it, $60. So it's the same I paid as this one. You're paying $60. Shipping was $7, like almost $8, and then the taxes, obviously whatever the tax for that was. So $6 ended up being the total, but this does by itself retail for $45. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. I will go through the comments. I will answer. I do respond to all of you guys. And yeah, so if you guys want to see how I got this makeup look, then just keep on watching. Okay, so let's start off by applying some Best Damn Lip Mask to our lips, and then I go ahead and use the MAC's Studio Fix Concealer to just go ahead and act as my eye primer. I'm going to go in with the first color from the bronze palette, and it is the color Jasper, and this is just going to help set that concealer and be a base for the rest of my shadows. And then I'm using the star of the show, the Kylie Kyshadows, the Burgundy palette, and I'm just sitting here really admiring the palette because it is such a beautiful palette. I cannot stop looking at it. I go in with that first color Beach, and I just use this as my transition color. So I'm taking a while to apply it because I didn't realize how pigmented the shadows were going to be. I was not prepared, which is why I'm kind of just like, what in the world? But they blended so beautifully and the color payoff was really, really good. So that is why I am giving it a thumbs up right here. So I just go ahead and apply this color to my eye, and I am using it as my first transition color. And then I go in with the color Brick, which is my favorite color from this entire palette. I use this as my first crease color just to kind of give me more depth in my eye, or for my eyes. And then I go ahead and go in with the first shimmery shade, and this is the color Dubai. So I apply it with my finger first just because that's how I prefer to apply any type of shimmery pigment, just because I feel like it gives like a better base for when I go back in with a brush. So that is what I'm doing here. I'm kind of just laying down the first layer, and then I will go back in with a synthetic flat brush, and I will even spray some Fix Plus just to see how much intensity I can get. So that is what I'm doing right here. I'm going back and applying it again with the brush. Since I said before, these shimmery pigments aren't the most pigmented shimmers out there. They definitely are subtle. You do have to build them up. They are beautiful colors though. Like I said, it gives you just enough sheen on your eyelids to show that you do have a shimmer there, but it's not super, super intense. And then I just go back in with that same fluffy brush that had the color Brick on it, just to go ahead and blend everything out and make it look a little bit more seamless. And then I go back in with a smaller fluffy brush and I pick up the color Almond, which is the darkest color in the palette. It is a deep cool tone brown, though I do end up going in with a flatter, more defined brush just because I didn't really like the not consistency, but the color it was coming up as. It wasn't really that intense and I wanted a little bit more intense. So I go ahead and I blend it all out again. I'm using a clean brush, and then here's where I go back in with the same color Almond just to see it, if this brush will give me a deeper outer crease color, and it did, and I loved it. So that is why I go back and do this step over, and I go ahead and just pack it on the corner and then drag the color towards the inner corner of my eye. And then I wanted a little bit more intensity. I felt like the color Dubai wasn't super, super intense or giving me the color that I wanted. So I went in with the color LA, which is just that beautiful gold, like bronze color. And I just popped that on top of Dubai. And then I blend it out once again, and then I go ahead and clean up the outer edges of my eye to give it a more sharper look. And then I do my eyeliner really quick. I'm using the Kat Von D tattoo liner in the color Trooper. And then I go ahead and do my lashes. I'm applying the first layer of mascara to prepare for my falsies, and I just use the Max Factor X Masterpiece Max Water Resistant Mascara in the color Velvet Black. That was a lot to say. And then I go in with my Huda Beauty lashes. These are the Samantha lashes in the number 7. Oh my goodness, you guys. These are my favorite lashes right now. They're so pretty, so fluffy and wispy, and I just love them so much. These are my favorite lashes right now. So I definitely need to go buy more of these. And then I go ahead and prime my face for my foundation, and I like to mix the Max Charge water with the Smashbox primer water. These two together, oh my goodness, you guys, it just gives me such a great foundation base for my foundation, and I just love mixing those. And then I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation today. I really, really love this foundation, especially when I do more of a glamorous look, because it is one of those foundations where the longer you wear it, the better it looks. So that is definitely one of my favorite stick foundations. I am using my Real Techniques Diamond Sponge, and I went ahead and just put some of the LC, the LC Glow Enhancer Serum on my sponge, though I regret doing that because it gave me too much of a dewy finish. I kind of just wanted to use it to just help blend out the foundation because it is a little bit harder to blend out. And then I went ahead and switched to my synthetic brush to apply the next layer of my foundation, just to give me a little bit more of better coverage, because I felt like the sponge was shearing it out when it was mixed with the glow enhancer. So yeah, and then I go in and use my Baed Under Eye Concealer, and I like to apply it with my finger to kind of just melt the concealer in, and then I'll go back with my sponge and just blend it all out. And then this is essential if you have oily skin, ladies or gentlemen. I like to just take a tissue and just kind of pick up any excess oiliness from the foundation if it's not fully dry, just to give me a better finish and last longer throughout the night. And then to bronze, I'm using my favorite bronzer. This is the Chanel bronzer. It just comes in the standard 1 shade. I love this bronzer though. It is definitely a great everyday natural looking bronzer. And I just use my Morphe synthetic blush brush to apply. I do like to apply it with a brush rather than a sponge. I feel like it just lays out the product a lot better. And then I'm going to go in with my Airspun Loose translucent powder. And this is my favorite setting powder. I love this more than the Laura Mercier one. I've been using this one for months and will continue to be using it. I just love the finish it gives. I do like to use a damp sponge to apply it, just because it really melts into my skin and doesn't leave any type of weird cakiness or breaks throughout the night. It just really does look super flawless. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm using MAC Mineralize Finish Foundation, and I just go ahead and put this everywhere pretty much just to give you an extra coverage because I do get really oily. Using the bronzer from the Selena and MAC collaboration. I really do like this bronzer. It is pretty dark, so I am making sure to use a very light hand and kind of just build it up to the color that I want. And I put this wherever I put the bronzer to act more as a setting powder so that bronzer does not move, and just to give me a little bit more intensity. And then I'm using that blush in the compact as well because it's just such a nice, natural, everyday blush. And then I go in with the Physicians Formula, what is this, the Butter Bronzer, and I just strictly use this to contour my nose because I really do like the color of it. It is more of a cooler tone bronzer. And then I go in with the LA Colors Mineral Foundation. I really like this foundation. This has been a holy grail of mine. I like this more to highlight because it does have like a nice iridescent color to it. And then I go ahead and just pick up that color Burgundy from the palette and I just smoke out my bottom lash line. And then I pick up the lightest color in the palette, and that is called Naked, and I just go ahead and use that as my inner corner highlight for my eyes. And then I do my bottom lash line mascara really quickly. And then I go in with the Cosmetics No Tug Waterproof Gel Liner, and this is amazing for your waterline because it is extremely waterproof. And then I finish it off with Anastasia's liquid lipstick in the color Sepia. And then of course I have to add some highlight, and I'm just using the J.Cats You Glow Girl Baked Highlighter, and it is the color Twilight number 102. So beautiful. I really love this highlighter, and I think I only paid like $5 for it. And to finish off this look, I just spray once again some of my MAC Charged Water. And that completes this look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and until next time, bye.